What the heck is this? What's up, YouTube? Back again with another video. Check it out.
Senator, good to see you again. I apologize. We seem to talk a lot after Donald Trump seems to drop your name into tweets. He did it again yesterday, very similar to the last time you and I talked about this, in which he addresses the tweet to suburban housewives, don't know who uses that expression, talks about low-income housing and how people are going to invade the suburbs. And then he drops your name. He says Biden would reinstall it in a bigger form with Cory Booker in charge. Now, the only thing, and you know, Senator, I've studied your background. You and I talk a lot. The only thing I can glean from this is just dropping your name into tweets because you're an African-American man and he thinks that might scare his voters. I don't know.
I really do think that it is something as basic as that. Let me find a black person that I could try to scare folks from the suburbs. But it's very personal to me because my backstory. I mean, the reality is 1969 when I was a baby and my parents tried to move into these amazing New Jersey suburbs, they were turned away from houses because of the color of their skin. And if it wasn't for activists, many of them white, in that community, they would send white couples out to pose as my parents after my parents were turned away to see if houses were still for sale. The house I grew up in, my father and mother were told it was sold. The white couple found out it was still for sale. On the day of the closing, the white couple didn't show up. My father did, and a volunteer lawyer named Marty Friedman. And Marty was then attacked by the real estate agent. He punched him in the face, sigged a dog on my dad.
Wow.
And after all that, we finally moved into this community with some of the best public schools in New Jersey. 18 years later, I was president of my class, an All-American football player, on the honor roll, and heading off to Stanford. And I'll tell you, Donald Trump was a part of that 1960s, 70s housing discrimination. Remember, he had a major federal lawsuit against him for that kind of systematic discrimination. And so for him to try to whip up this boogeyman that people like me are scary, to try to prey upon bigotry and fear, I'm sorry, this is a very old trope that was used by generations past, and it's just not going to work in today's America. And he will lose the suburbs because there are people that are afraid there. But it's not of the fear mongering that he's doing. It's that he has failed to protect them and keep them safe in the midst of this virus. I am sad to say, as I sit here, that we in New Jersey have had so many deaths in our suburbs that were preventable if we had a president of the United States that took this virus seriously and did the things we're seeing from New Zealand to Taiwan, where they got the virus the same time we did. And places like Taiwan have about 10 deaths nationwide. And yet we have a person dying from COVID about every 80 seconds. And so his fear mongering is bigotry, sexism, racism, and won't work. But the real concerns that Americans have about their safety and well-being, the real concerns and fears we have that he's not addressing will be one of the many reasons he will lose.